Going with the whole festive demand theme, we are touching base with the management of Liberty Shoes now. Adesh Gupta joins in, CEO of the company, to talk about how the whole consumption side would play out over the next 3 months, given that it is going to be heavily dominated by a lot of festivals. Adesh, good to have you on the show. Thanks very much for taking out the time. What kind of pickup in volumes are you expecting over this quarter, October to December quarter?
Well, the second quarter we went through was quite productive for us. We had a double-digit growth in the second quarter as well, and we hope the next quarter should do even better because we have festive season around the corner, and even in the first week we had a lot of rush in our retail stores and also in the distribution and other categories. So we're quite bullish and quite optimistic that the quarter three should do very well, knowing the fact that the festival season and plus the wedding season around the corner, and normally the quarter three is always the best quarter for business.
Bullish, you're sounding optimistic, so why don't you translate that with some numbers? So give me some numbers. How much footfalls have gone up in percentage terms? How much footfalls are higher from last year?
Well, what we can say that in the first week itself we saw a growth of about 30 to 40% in our retail stores, but we don't have the data of all the entire the country as a whole in terms of franchisees and distribution. But we see in our own stores a huge growth footfall, which translates should get into good numbers for the quarter three.
As we speak, Liberty Shoes is in middle of a big restructuring exercise. Last time when we connected with you, you said that auditors have been appointed and the final restructuring will take place by end of this financial year. What is the update on that, and what could be the final shape of the restructuring?
Let me put it this way. We have announced this restructuring about a year back, which means the 31st March 2014. And the idea was that the related party transactions through the the group sister companies, they should be acquired by the flagship company, which is Liberty Shoes Limited, so that there are no related party transactions, for which the consultants have been appointed, and the the valuation of core assets, the valuation of brands, whatever are the assets which are there in these two companies which are going to be acquired, they will be given to Liberty Shoes Limited. There will be no cash transaction per se, so there will be like a share, new shares will be issued by the company to these two companies, and as a result of this we will see a huge benefit to the flagship company going forward. As far as the timelines are concerned, we are committed towards 31st March 2015 that this whole transaction has to complete, but we are quite hopeful that the consultant should give us in another couple of weeks their report, and as soon as the report is available to the board, then the board will take its own decision how fast they can fast track the whole transaction. It could be even before 31st March 2015.
Right. Adesh, we were just speaking with the management of Raymond Lifestyle, talking about the potential of online stores, and a lot of consumption-oriented companies are going the online route. For yourself as well, are you looking at building a parallel platform, so to speak, or would you largely be selling yourself through the current e-commerce platforms? Also, the other threat there is heavy discounts, which even though bring in the volumes, but there's a bit of a pricing compromise there.
Well, first of all, the recent buzz, in the economy, or in the recent, last 1 week, we have seen there is a lot of e-tailing activities happening. Surely this gives us a food for thought as to how we should rethink our strategy. As far as our retail is concerned, we are quite bullish and optimistic that we have to roll out 100 stores each year. For that, we have already our plans, which we should already be, because they are, let's say, perpetual business. We feel that opening a store in any city is going to give us a perpetual business for a number of years. Whereas e-tailing business is an opportunity. It may not be a well thought strategy all the time because there is huge competition in this space. Surely we are looking at the e-platform as a next level of growth also. And in the last 2 weeks we are already rethinking as to how to strategize this business, where it should not compete or cannibalize with our existing business. The whole idea is that we should rather create special products suitable to the needs of the consumers who are buying online. But it should not be that it should turn into a discount making business, that all the time we are offering heavy discounts and the consumer is getting towards that attraction all the time, and they expect the same thing to happen in retail stores. We don't want to get into a brand conflict going forward. Maybe it could be a very short-term strategy. You can do a $1 million sale or something like this, but eventually if it is going to, let's say, cannibalize my business or is going to affect my regular business, I think we have to be a little, skeptical there. But it doesn't mean that, we do not feel that this platform can give us a lot of business going forward, and we are devising our strategy as to how effectively we can, make our online store. We already have an online store, Liberty Shoes online store. We are already working on that, but we need to really aggressively now look at as to how we can, let's say, fulfill the needs of the lifestyle change which the consumer is expecting through the, e-tailing practices.
All right, Adesh, we'll leave it at that. Thanks very much for joining us and giving us those details.